going to start with a blessing and a karakia.
Let us start with a prayer. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Mi pea oelo mātou tua. Wawa e whaia lava mea sili mo lau whanau. O le nei aso ele o se aso na whaafua veta. Lei o le aso sa tu atu ilu mo lau a fio pe tua mania. E peita iane lo mātou tua le o whaalia lo o lo whamaloanga le lei. Le wa e whātaunu ina mea uma i lo whātasi mai mo i mātou. Mātou te tālo i a te oe. Se i alo whangia le nei wha moe moe. Wha malu mai au a alofa i fuafuanga uma o le nei aso. Ina ia whapēnao na whai uina mea uma. I le manuia ma le fia fia. Ona o elo mātou atua. O le mātou te tālo lea. E alatu i lau o fio. I le suafo le tamā. Ma le alo. Ma le anganga pa ia. Amen.
Kia ora tātou whanaunga, kia ora ki te whare e tu nei, e te kaupapa o te rā Pacific Reset, e te tūpuna, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Welcome everybody, it's great to see so many people here, and I've got the awesome task of introducing Josh, who needs no introduction. He is a national treasure. Possibly the funniest man in New Zealand, and so much more than that too. And we're absolutely thrilled to have him MC a conference about trying to define what the Pacific Reset is. And as you all know, Josh is, of course, former 7 Days, still 7 Days. In fact, 7 Days, I think, is touring, doing live shows around New Zealand at the moment. So, surprise, you guys are the audience. No, you're not. But Josh was, of course, starred in Gary of the Pacific, which is perfect, really. A sort of bumbling real estate agent accidentally becomes the chief of a Pacific island that happens to be sinking. So it's a perfect sort of kaupapa for us as we look at the Pacific Reset. And I think for us it's really important that this agenda gets out of the Wellington Beltway and becomes something that gets the New Zealand people excited, that talks to people outside of Wellington, outside of the political sphere, and that we start to really generate some optimism and excitement about the huge opportunity that the Pacific Reset holds, and we all have a role to play in that. So I'm very excited to welcome Josh, who's described in his own bio as a sturdy South Islander and an even sturdier Tongan. So welcome, Josh.
Well, thank you, Josie. That's very kind. It's quite a build-up. And I forgot about that sturdier thing until I tried to do it with my button then and did not succeed. So anyway, so wonderful to be here. Kia ora and welcome to you all. There's lots of wonderful people here today. We've got ministers, we've got MPs from across the House, CEOs and staff of NGOs, business leaders, representatives of the Pacific, and lots of wonderful people. A special welcome to Luke, who I met earlier this morning because I was walking around the university lost. I nearly walked into an economics lecture, so thank you very much, Luke. And also welcome to that guy who said, "Hey, aren't you that fella from that thing?" So welcome everybody. Yes, I'm that fella from that thing. My name is Josh Thompson. If you don't know who I am a hard-hitting political journalist who knows heaps about government stuff. That's not actually true. I'm an actor, so I barely know what's happening on a good day. But fortunately, that's what today is about, sorting stuff out. Because earlier this year, the government announced a major foreign policy change called the Pacific Reset. But what is it? What is the Pacific Reset? What does that mean? Is it a reset? Is it a refresh? Is it a reboot? Do I have to unplug it and leave it off for a full minute before plugging it back in? Today we shall find out. We shall define what the Pacific Reset is. We'll be hearing from people who created the policy and from those who it will affect, and together we will very much be moulding the definition of what the Pacific Reset is. We'll be hearing from the Deputy Prime Minister of the Cook Islands, Mark Brown, who has graciously taken the time to travel all the way from the beautiful Cook Islands to talk to us today, so thank you, Deputy Prime Minister. And we'll hear from our own Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Winston Peters, who has graciously taken the time to travel all the way from the beautiful Beehive to talk to us today. Thank you, Deputy Prime Minister. And after their words, we will have a Q&A with the dual deputies, the Julie Deps. I'll be moderating this Q&A, so behave yourselves. Let's keep the questions on topic. And this will be followed by a panel of representatives from the Pacific Islands and our own Pacific communities here in New Zealand to hear about their thoughts about the reset. Then we'll hear from some key businesses partnering with the NGO sector. That's the non-governmental organisation sector. I googled it last night. And we will also announce the winners of the SID competition. That's the Council of International Development. Another Google there. That's the CID. That's the, oh, good. That they have a photo competition, and there's some beautiful photos. That's not one there. That's a kete. But there were some beautiful photos up before. Really incredible photos from around the world. Not a lot of me, but that's fine. I mean, I know the judges, so I mean, the winner has not been announced, and if you want to win, there's still some time. Then we will briefly hear from those standing for the SID board, so you can vote over lunch. And in the afternoon, there will be the AGM, Annual General Meeting, and some WS's workshops. That's not an acronym, I made that one up, but you can sign up for that at lunch. So there's a lot to take in today. There's a lot to take in, but I'll be here with you the whole way to steer the waka, the vaka or va'a through it. But to recap, the order is the DPMs for NZ and the CI, a Q&A, a panel of PIs and NZ PIs, then the NGO, CEO, CID, lunch, and then the AGM. That would have worked better if lunch was a 3-letter acronym as well. But I'll be getting that later on today anyway. So before we get underway, I have to brief you on some health and safety things for Massey University. The university operates a smoke-free policy, and that includes vaping, so sorry hipsters. Some of this I'm making up as we go. So you may have to go completely off-site to spark up. The nearest loos are the ones by the Flax and Fern Room, which is where we had registration just down there. I can confirm they are fantastic. If the fire alarm rings continuously, evacuate the building by the nearest and safest exit to the assembly area, unless you are instructed otherwise. Now, the assembly area is the entrance E car park, which is that way. And do not use the lifts. Okay, we are on the ground floor anyway, so you can use them if you want. And if it is safe to do so, please take your personal belongings. So tidy as you run for your lives. And in the event of an earthquake, drop, cover and hold. Wait for further instructions. Basically, use your common sense and just leave calmly, and whatever happens, don't come to me. Because if it goes down, I will freak out, and I'll just start running at random doors until I break through. So I'm not a safe person to talk to. But anyway, it has been wonderful to meet you this morning. It is time to get underway. We are extraordinarily blessed to have the Fonoti family, the Tofa Mamoa culture group, here to welcome us into the event. The parents and the grandparents of the Fonoti family started the group to help New Zealand-born youth learn Samoan language and culture, which really embodies the spirit of the day. So join me in welcoming the Tofa Mamoa culture group.
She